to talk the new hotness. We've all been playing, and by we all, I mean two of us, have been playing Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. We made it through this whole podcast factor without saying, "Was it some sort of Suicide Squad?" We forgot to say that.
Oh man!
So Suicide Squad.
Mark said it in the chat earlier.
What? Hold on, let me just highlight this awesome comment.
All right.
Let me just leave it on. I'm not even gonna remove it. All right,
Say
I'll
what?
remove it. Say what? So this is the long-awaited, long-delayed game from Rocksteady Studios. Of
Yeah, we were
course,
supposed to
who
get this
made-
last year originally.
Yeah, all the Arkham games. This was supposed to be out last year, and then they did a big trailer for it in a state of play, if I remember correctly, and tried to get everybody hyped up on it, and it went the opposite direction that they were intending it to go. People were not thrilled that it looks like you're just jumping on buildings and aimlessly killing aliens and shooting at every purple thing you see. And then Rocksteady said, "Okay, hold on. You know what? We're going to take it back. We're going to work on it. Give us a little bit of time. It's coming out in a year." I don't think it was a whole year delay, but it was almost a whole year. And we said, wow, they're really going to go ahead and delay it that much. They really must be retooling the game. And it came out, Jeff, and to me, it looks like the exact same game we were shown. So I don't really know what to make of that. But you know what? I'm going to give it to Vactor because he, just like me, well, and you, Jeff, but him more so, is a Batman fan. And we know he loved all the Arkham games. So tell us your initial thoughts. How long you've been playing it? Just give us a quick overview, Vactor.
Boys, it just pains me to say this, but we got a Game of the Year contender in January 2024.
You're
We
lying
got
to
a
me.
new one.
He's lying.
We got one. Cue the Ghostbusters. We got one.
He's lying to us. He's
This
lying
game
to us.
He's fooling.
Is so good. I had to scream it from the rooftops. Boys, I've been playing this game all week long. It's the only thing that I'm thinking about. This is that thing that Rob loves, that he craves with every game that comes out, to be the type of game that as soon as you turn it off, you are thinking about it. You want to get back to it every time you have free moment to spare. You want to spend it in that game. And that's what Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League is for me right now, boys. I am feverishly playing this, trying to complete the story because I don't want to get spoiled, but I am loving it. And I think everything Rob said is true. It feels exactly like what they had originally announced. And to me, that's a good thing because it's equal parts Crackdown, equal parts The Division, equal parts Destiny, all of those things. But in a superhero package, in a Batman package, and I am loving it. Woo!
Oh my god! How far into the game are you? Like, if you minor spoilers for Suicide Squad: Kill the Justice League. Let's just put that out there right now. Neither of us have beaten the game, but we might talk some story beats. Okay. That being said, how far into the story are you?
I just got to Lex Luthor, so I'm not sure exactly how far that is.
Okay, so
15 minutes.
I am also at the Lex Luthor part, and I am about 6 hours into the game. Okay. So depending on how fast you play, I would say you're roughly around there too. But me personally, I've spent about 6 hours in the game. So I don't want to say I have the opposite reaction to this game. as Trent, but I'm torn.
Uh-oh.
I'm torn about this game. So
Don't you lie to me.
I really like some parts of it, and I really don't like other parts of it. And this is the first time where I feel really torn about a game like this in a long time.
What?
And so, let me explain. I am enjoying the story. The story's good. I like the continuation of the Arkham universe. I like how it explains, okay, you thought Batman was dead? Well, guess what? This is what happened. Superman came to him and was like, you want to join the Justice League? Oh, okay. And then now Batman's back, baby, after faking his death. I like that. Oh, and there's a part where Batman also calls the members of the Justice League his friends, and I was like, that seems interesting. Batman's got friends, and hang out with my friends at the Justice League.
The super friends.
I like, anyway, that's neither here nor there, though. I like the story. I like the characterizations. I like Harley is the same Harley that we've seen before. King Shark is a lot like Drax to me, and in the Marvel movies. I'm not familiar with King Shark on the page, so I don't know how accurate that is or isn't. But this character is giving me Drax the Destroyer, but not the stupid Drax, the first Drax we saw in the first Guardians of the Galaxy. Captain Boomerang. Oh, that's my Australian accent. Oh, you guys like it? Anyway,
Nice.
Captain Boomerang and Deadshot. I like the voice acting. I like the dialogue. I like the writing. Everything.
Game of the year.
I like the looks of the characters. The graphical design. I like it all. Okay. On the other side of the coin, I don't like the gameplay.
What?
I don't like it. Now, the game is. It does have Crackdown vibes. I'm actually thinking that. I've been mainly maining King Shark. But here's what I don't like about the game. Now, I don't want to compare it to Arkham because it's not a Batman game, so I can't say, why doesn't it have the same sort of fighting or anything like that? It's a different game, but it doesn't. The fluidity of the fighting in the Arkham games versus what you're doing here is not the same thing. You have your main character, whichever one you pick, and you get two guns, right? So you get like your heavy weapon and maybe a lighter weapon, or you can swap them out later. Maybe grenades, and then you have a melee attack, and then your mode of travel. Like King Shark does big Hulk jumps. Harley Quinn does like grappling like Batman. Captain Boomerang is in the Speed Force for some reason. And then what is Deathshot?
He has a jetpack.
Yeah, it's a jetpack. That's all fine, but the gameplay is go here and defend this spot for 10 minutes. Great. Go here. Defend the spot for 10 minutes. Great. Or go
And
here.
that's what I was.
Collect three things.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying about the Destiny comparison. It's Destiny gameplay. Like they took that out of Destiny, they put it into this game. So if you're not a fan
Destiny,
of,
so I couldn't make that connection.
if you're not a fan of that type of gameplay, then you're not gonna like this game.
Now there are certain. The gameplay gets a little better the further you go into the game, Jeff. Meaning, so you can upgrade your character. Things they can do in the game. The further you go, you get more abilities. Like I got I don't know if you're at this part, Vector, but I got an ice dagger, so I can freeze everybody with King Shark. Or there's things you think you would be able to do automatically. Like at the beginning of the game when I'm running around as King Shark, I said to myself, why isn't King Shark grabbing these guys and throwing them around and throwing them on the ground? He's just running around with his Uzis, his machine gun. eventually, Jeff, you unlock the ability to start grabbing people and throw them all over the place, which is what I think it should have been at the start. And you get that with everybody. Everybody has their unique ways, but the mission variety is so boring to me that I'm playing the same missions over and over again, and I find myself looking at the map going, I don't want to do this mission. I don't want to do this mission because I can see it says defend this place. Only grenades are going to do any damage. Defend this place. Only melee is going to do damage. Defend this place. Only air attacks are going to do damage. And I don't want to do that stuff. I just don't want to do it. Like, I want cool story missions like the Arkham games, where it's a little more linear and it's funneling me to where I'm going, or like the Spider-Man games. And I know that's not what this is, but like I said, I haven't felt this way in a long time. I'm bored playing the game, but when the story happens, I'm like, oh, let's go, baby. All right, let's see what's going on, because it's funny. The game's funny, man.
Yeah, and watching your TikTok live, Rob, like the cutscenes look great. I think I was in your chat talking about it. I'm like, the animation looks like really, really good here, and I like Samoa Joe as King Shark. Like, you're right. Like when you're getting that moment, I'm like, this is what made me want to buy it this morning, was watching you and seeing those cutscenes. Is really was the main attraction for me.
Right. We haven't watched Twisted Metal yet, but Samoa Joe plays Sweet Tooth in that.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I can see why from listening to him in this game, I could see why they would cast him. Like, he's a better actor than I thought. Like, I didn't know any of his acting ability, but him playing King Shark in this is great. And you said it. I think this takes a lot of cues from James Gunn's Suicide Squad and also his Guardians of the Galaxy. That type of humor, they're going for that type of like R-rated comedy. And King Shark in the comics is super intelligent, so he's not like this. This is just a different version of him. But Drax wasn't like that. Drax in the comics is not like the Batista version of Drax. So I can forgive that. Like, this is just a different version of King Shark, and it's a different version of King Shark than the Sylvester Stallone, and that like he's just a big brute like Hulk,
or even the Harley Quinn animated show, where it's who plays King Shark on that?
So that's dang it, I can see his face. The black comedian.
Hannibal? No, not Hannibal.
No, not
Ron Funches. It's Ron Funches.
Yes,
Ron
yes,
Funches.
yes.
Yeah.
Which, like, it's funny you bring that up, because my wife, I was talking to her about the game, and I said, this Harley kind of feels dated to me, because it is the Arkham Harley, like you were saying. And we've been watching the animated Harley for like 6 seasons now. And that Kaylee Cuoco version is now like my default Harley in my mind. So going back to this version, it's like, oh, dang, I forgot this is what Harley used to be like. But I like all of the interpretations, even the Deadshot. The version is kind of like a Will Smith, but he's kind of like they do that fourth wall break of, hey, aren't you supposed to be white? Because he's always been white in the comics until that Will Smith version. So I like a lot of the writing. I like a lot of the humor. And this is what I love, as I've talked about it many times on here. The story for me is my favorite part of games. And so this story has got me. I want to see what's going to happen next. That's another reason why I keep going back, because I'm like, oh, what's going to happen next? What's going to happen next?
Right. And so I'm probably going to keep playing it. I don't think I'm going to stop playing it. I don't think I'm going to stream it anymore. I don't think it's an interesting game to watch when it's not story driven. But like I said, it's something that I just haven't felt this way about a video game in a long time. Usually for me, it's pretty black and white. Like, I like the game or I don't like the game, and I can make my decision. Yeah, I'm just going to stop playing it. Like this one, I feel compelled to keep playing it, even though I'm not enjoying the gameplay that much. Now I'm optimistic that with the character upgrades, I can boost the stats of my characters and maybe they play a little more fluidly. But again, some of the missions, like there was a mission I did where I was working with the Penguin and I had to go get his henchmen that were trapped by aliens, and I had to get 5 of them. But it took 10 minutes in between each person being available for me to get them, to rescue them. So I'm just fighting waves of aliens over and over again. But meanwhile, the mission I did just before that was me doing the same thing for Rick Flagg's henchmen. And I was finding all of Rick Flagg's people and doing the exact same mission. So if the missions are super repetitive, it's going to be harder for me to keep playing it. But I am going to keep playing it based on this. The only other gripe I have with it, and this might be just a me thing, is that each character plays very differently in terms of their controls and their traversal. And so it makes it tough for me to want to switch between characters, because certain missions say, hey, play it as Harley and you're going to get more XP, or play it as King Shark and you'll get a specialized loot when you beat the game or when you beat this mission.
Mm-hmm. And have you run into the microtransactions?
I haven't seen any microtransactions.
Okay.
No.
But I haven't been really looking for them either.
Yeah.
That was what they were saying that they were taking out. Remember, that was the big backlash when that news first dropped. Everybody's like, "What? That's not what I wanted." So I think that's what, when they delayed it, I think that's what they were taking out.
Yeah, they'll put it back in.
Oh, I'm sure they will. They got to make that money. But the like I said, if you're a fan, this is coming from a casual DC fan. I'm sure Vactor can double what I'm saying, though. Is if you're a fan of the Arkhamverse, the story, and seeing a continuation of it, I don't think you're going to be disappointed. And yeah, he's got a Superman shirt. I don't think you're going to be disappointed in the story or the acting or the setups or the characterizations or anything like that. You just got to be able to make it through the gameplay. And Trent likes it. So,
And
it's
this, I think, is going to be Jeff's bread and butter right here. This is his cup of tea because it's the Arkham story and Destiny gameplay. Those are two things that Jeff likes. Those are peanut butter and chocolate for Jeff. So this game is Reese's peanut butter.
We'll see about that. We'll see about that. He just invoked my favorite candy for that,
which I had earlier today. Did you boys know there's a Reese's peanut butter cup that has the Reese's cereal inside of it?
Mm-hmm.
I had that today, and it was...
Yeah, it's all right.
One last thing
my favorite
I want to
cereal.
say is that this game might as well not be open world also. Because
really?
You're in an open world metropolis, but there's little, at least so far, little to no exploration, little to no utilization of an open world setting. It's just a big battle arena. You're going to over here and you're fighting a bunch of aliens, and you're going over to this building and you're fighting a bunch of aliens. There's like, you're not going into buildings outside of like the Hall of Justice or little like set piece buildings. I don't know why it's a quote unquote open world game, because it does not feel like an open world game to me. But again, that's just my take. But that's Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, available now. Everybody might be in the discount bin soon, so depending on how much you want to spend, and just use your best judgment.